Good Monday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It is Monday. It is gorgeous in Charlottesville and across Central Virginia. Thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille Network. We are live, of course, across Charlottesville, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. Thanks to partners like Scott Wagner, Integrated Medicine. Dr. Wagner has your back. We have been working alongside Dr. Wagner, Kristen, and the team at his office for nearly 10 years as his advertising agency of record. And Dr. Wagner, we absolutely enjoy our time with you, my friend. I also want to give some props and praise to Ting Fiber Internet. It's crazy fast internet. It's the best internet out there. It's the internet that powers the I Love CVille Network. Ting, crazy fast internet. A lot to cover on the program. The Democratic primary is tomorrow. Tomorrow. 3 gentlemen will be whittled down to 2. Those 2 will represent the Charlottesville Democratic primary that frankly has had a stranglehold on politics for decades in the city of Charlottesville. The 2 that come on the Democratic ticket, and I'll tell you who I think they're going to be, will then face Yaz Washington and Nakia Walker in the general election. That story moments away. The fate of the downtown parking garage could be known today at the Charlottesville City Council meeting. Charlottesville City Council will vote esta noche, that's tonight for those that don't speak Spanish, on a resolution to direct the city manager to cease all other activities previously commenced to facilitate development of a parking structure. So boys and girls, a $10+ million garage and its fate tonight determined. We'll talk about that on the I Love CVille Show. I also want to talk about Gordonsville, Virginia. Gordonsville is a charming, intimate, sleepy, friendly, hospitable little town. My family and I have been spending ample time in Gordonsville. We live in eastern Albemarle County now. And if you have a little one, we have a 3+-year-old, getting out of the house is paramount for maintaining sanity. Yesterday, we spent most of the afternoon in Gordonsville. We will let you know about this experience. Folks, I think this town is ready to blow the hell up, and I'm going to tell you why. From a popularity standpoint, from a commerce standpoint, from a housing standpoint, from a development standpoint. That story moments away. We'll talk tax revenue by municipality. Neil Williamson, Free Enterprise Forum, the dude does a hell of a job educating people on things like tax revenue, on growth and density. We got some data from the Free Enterprise Forum that we want to relay to you. We'll spotlight a listing on Meade Avenue, just off High Street, 540 Meade Avenue, and its price tag, its specs, another head scratcher here in the city of Charlottesville, a reflection of a lack of supply and demand that is absolutely through the roof. I'm looking at the board right now. The NASDAQ is green. The Dow Jones is red, down about a half a point right now, the Dow. Markets lukewarm as we speak. Bitcoin is trying to recover from a massive collapse in the last 30 days. So without further ado, I want to talk the Democratic primary and local politics. Here's the nitty-gritty, and I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. Short, sweet, and simple. Alliteration at its finest. Carl Brown, Brian Pinkston, Juan Diego Wade. Tomorrow, you're going to see those 3 guys at polling spots across the city of Charlottesville, shaking hands, kissing babies, putting stickers on your chest, maybe giving out some coffee and some donuts to try to lure your vote as you enter the voting booth. The Democratic primary is a huge step right before the general election. Brown, Wade, and Pinkston, 3 guys, 3 gentlemen. Those 3 will be narrowed down to 2 tomorrow. We should know the 2 around close of business tomorrow. I'll let you know how I think it's going to play out in about 30 seconds. Once the 2 have been determined, those 2 guys will head to the general election. Well, they will face Yaz Washington and Nakia Walker in the general. Folks, the Democrats have had a stranglehold on politics, not only in the city of Charlottesville, but in Albemarle County for decades. In fact, Nakia Walker, an independent, was the last independent to get on council. Bellamy Brown, a friend of this program, tried to do it as an independent. He did not get elected. Rob Schilling, a Republican, the last to serve on council, that was a Republican, okay? And since Rob, it's only been Nakaya from an independent standpoint. So the Democrats have cornered the market in the city. The Democrats have cornered the market in Albemarle County as well. Here's how I think it's going to play out. And I think, before I say how it's going to play out, I want to stipulate this. Carl Brown, Brian Pinkston, and Juan Diego Wade, those three guys have become friends of mine. The beautiful thing about hosting this talk show is you get to spend a lot of time with a lot of people. And you ask them very real and honest questions. And they sit across the table from you and they open up their hearts. They show their vulnerable side. It's almost therapy here on the I Love CVille Network. And I've had the pleasure over the course of the last 6 to 8 months of getting to know Juan Diego Wade really well. I got to know Brian Pinkston really well the last time he ran for city council. He, unfortunately, for Brian Pinkston's team, did not get elected the last time he ran, which was what, 2019. Carl Brown, I've known Mr. Carl Brown for close to 10 years, maybe even 15 years. Carl Brown is A-plus people as well, one of the three that I've known the longest. So what I'm about to say, I stipulate first by saying all three are honest, respectable, hardworking, and willing to go to the wall for the city of Charlottesville from a politics standpoint. Anyone, and I'm saying this as someone who's walking the walk and talking the talk, I'm running for Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. Folks that get involved at politics in the grassroots level, city of Charlottesville, Albemarle County Board of Supervisors, Greene County, Fluvanna County, Louisa County, okay? Another good friend of mine is Fitzgerald Barnes of the Louisa County Board of Supervisors, okay? I've known that man for 20 years. 20 years I've known Fitz. You do not get involved with local politics for the money. You don't get involved with local politics for the notoriety. You don't get involved with local politics for popularity. Half the people in your municipality will dislike you. The other half will be lukewarm for you. This is not about popularity. This is about people that genuinely want to make a difference. And there is no more difference making than at the local politics level, okay? There is so much more done on the dais in Charlottesville or on the Board of Supervisors in Albemarle that impact our communities than at the federal level or even at the Commonwealth level, okay? So the people that are willing to put their cojones on the line, put their pride on their line, their reputation on the line, put their name on the line, these people are doing it for genuine reasons to make the community better, okay? So without further ado, my crystal ball predictions of the Democratic primary, I think you're going to see Juan Diego Wade and Brian Pinkston out of the Democratic primary. And that's tough to say because all three are my friends and I've known Mr. Carl Brown the longest. I think Juan Diego Wade of the three has the most name recognition for his time on the school board. A decade plus on the school board for Mr. Juan Diego Wade. Brian Pinkston also has name recognition. Let's not undervalue the name recognition he earned the first time he ran in 2019. Now, Mr. Carl Brown, born and raised in Charlottesville. Carl Brown is Charlottesville like Spud Nuts is Charlottesville. Like Mel's Cafe is Charlottesville. Like Bodo's Bagels is Charlottesville. Like traffic on 29 is Charlottesville. Carl Brown is Charlottesville. The reason I think Pinkston and Wade are going to come out of the Democratic primary, A, Wade's name recognition of the school board. B, Wade and Pinkston have a clear-cut, dominating advantage in fundraising. And oftentimes, fundraising is a reflection of how these campaigns will turn out. I think Juan Diego Wade has a very, very legitimate chance to win a spot on the dais in the general election. You're going to see, my crystal ball says, Pinkston and Wade coming out on the Democratic ticket. And then Pinkston, Wade, and Yaz Washington and Nakaya Walker in the general election. Now, if you watch this program at all, you know I disagree significantly with Nikia Walker's policy, Nikia Walker's leadership. I find her as a divisive factor in this town. I find her policy to be lacking vision. Now, I will say this about the mayor, and I hope she's watching. Someone tag her in the feed, please. Nikia Walker, I hope you hear this from me. She has so many qualities of a winner. She has proven throughout her life that she is a winner. The first person in her family to graduate from college, Nikia Walker. A black woman running as an independent months after August 12th, 2017 in Charlottesville, Nikia Walker. She has name recognition. Never undervalue the recognition that comes with being the incumbent. Never undervalue that. My crystal ball, and I've been consistent with this on this network throughout 2021, Pinkston and Wade come out of the Democratic primary. The general election, Wade and Walker win. Wade and Nikia Walker in the general election get the W. Yaz Washington, I have tremendous respect for you, Yaz. I've enjoyed getting to know you, Yaz, on this set. I love your ideas. I love your hustle. I love your chutzpah. I love your gift for human connection. I love your ability to take risk and chances. Heck, you're in your early 20s and you're running for council. Respect. So much respect. That being said, I think it's a little bit early for you to get a spot on the dais. My crystal ball says Pinkston and Wade out of the Democratic primary and Wade and Walker in the general election. Time will tell. Time will tell. But I'm often right when it comes to these races. We'll cover the primary tomorrow with some live results for you. I am efforting some of the clients, some of the candidates on the show. We will keep you posted on the I Love CVille Network as we get closer and closer to some clarity with what I've called the most important election in Charlottesville, Virginia history. You're coming out of COVID, school reconfiguration, West Main Streetscape project, long-term city manager, this fiasco that we call the parking garage in the Guadalajara and Lucky 7 site. I have that commentary coming for you in a matter of moments. We're coming out of COVID. We have these statues still in our parks. So much on the plate for the folks that are getting elected in the general. The next topic is the downtown parking garage. Tonight, council will vote on a resolution to direct the city manager to cease all other activities previously commenced to facilitate development of a parking structure that was being built as part of an agreement with the county for courts complex project. Allison Rabel of the Daily Progress has a story in the newspaper today. This damn parking garage has been in the news cycle and has been on the tips of stakeholders' tongues for years now. It shows you the archaic and quicksand pace that local government works. So many people have said to me, Jerry, and I heard it yesterday in Gordonsville. So many people have said to me, Jerry, running for the Board of Supervisors is the antithesis of being an entrepreneur. You're used to going into your building, asking for something to be done by close of business, and expecting it to get done that day at top-level results. And for 13 plus years, my company, my firm, celebrated its 13-year anniversary on May 31st. 13 years of doing business. And the reason we've had success for 13 years, 10% revenue growth year over year for 13 years, 10% plus year over year, is because you go into work, you expect results that day, and you expect the results to be damn good. That is the antithesis mindset of local government. The parking garage is a microcosm of what I'm talking about. This darn thing, this dang thing, has been in the works for years. Years. It was a deal negotiated by Albemarle's Board of Supervisors and Charlottesville City Councilors nearly 4 years ago. You heard me correctly, nearly 4 years ago. And finally tonight, we should have some clarity as council votes on what to do and how to instruct the city manager on a 10 million plus parking structure. Here's where we're at. Leadership in the city is unsure of how downtown will respond post-COVID. Will we have this hybrid situation where a lot of the firms and businesses around the downtown area are allowing their team members to work from home? Maybe full-time, maybe part-time from home, part-time in the office. And is this hybrid work from home scenario enough to slow or terminate or delay a 10 million plus project that's been on the tip of leadership's tongues for nearly 4 years? Time will tell esta noche. That's tonight for those that don't speak Spanish. The wheels of local government move at the speed of a rusted Model T. Hell, the wheels of local government move at the speed of a rusted stagecoach being pulled by goats and not horses. Tonight we have some clarity. The ownership team of Lucky 7, the ownership team of the Guadalajara downtown has some clarity. Some Albemarle County leadership, this shocks the hell out of me, some Albemarle County leadership is legitimately saying that the parking garage does not need to be built. Some Albemarle County leadership, including Supervisor Liz Palmer, who is on her way out. Palmer's last day on the board is the 31st of December of this year. She's saying in the paper she understands that City Council may want to take a wait-and-see approach to the parking garage because of COVID-19. Ann Malik didn't have a comment. Donna Price, the seat I'm running for, she's the incumbent in the Scottsville district. She says she needs more information from Albemarle staff before making a comment. There's so many layers to this onion. It's a promise in an agreement that's been in play with Albemarle and the city of Charlottesville for nearly 4 years. Rick Randolph, who is now on the Planning Commission in Albemarle County, Rick Randolph, previously of the Board of Supervisors, was in Court Square nearly 4 years ago talking to the media. And I was there watching it all from behind the scenes. And Rick Randolph, who lives in my neighborhood, the dude says the city of Charlottesville has a long history of not keeping its promise with Albemarle County and doing dealings and doing deals. Tonight we'll see if that promise is kept or not. 4 years, man, of having to talk about this thing as a parking structure. 4 years of opportunity cost and time wasted. 4 years of taxpayer studies, consultants, and the opportunity costs of city and county staff being allocated to this thing. 4 years of goats pulling a rusted stagecoach. The progress of local government. The next topic on the agenda today is Gordonsville, Virginia. I'm going to show you some photos, and I'll give you a cue, J-Dubs, when I put them on screen. Judah Whitcower is the fabulous director of this show. Yesterday, my wife and I, our son, our wonderful son, we love this guy to the moon and back. I love this kid to the moon and back. Our little guy is going through potty training right now. Moms and dads, you remember potty training? Our potty training routine is a 3-day bender. And of course, most of this onus and pressure and responsibility falls on my wonderful wife, who's with him now. Our little guy is running around our home in eastern Albemarle County, buck-ass naked, literally. You don't let him keep the diaper on when you're doing potty training, evidently. This is our first one. We're trying to figure this out. We ain't pros at this. In fact, we're in like the rookie league trying to figure this out. My wife is reading books on potty training. Every time our little guy goes in the potty, he gets a Swedish fish. If he does number 2 in the potty, he gets 2 Swedish fish. We're leveraging this red delicatessen that we call Swedish fish to incentivize him to go pee-pee and poo-poo in the potty. Yesterday, we took him and another family that's quickly becoming inner circle that lives in our neighborhood. They have 2 kids. There were 7 of us. And the 7 of us went to the Ice House in Gordonsville. A vision that Craig Hartman, Hunter Smith, and Chris Henry had. We sit down in the back of the Ice House for some fried chicken, some cold beer, some fellowship, some laughs, and frankly, mom and dad's just trying to keep their sanity as the little boys are running around the restaurant doing their best to terrorize the place. I can't say it any better than that. The experience was out of this world. Let's get the photos on screen. You'll see these on the I Love CVille Network. The fried chicken was excellent. And what else do you expect from Craig Hartman? We got pitchers of missile from Hunter. The pitchers were $20 a pop. We did a beer tasting. We had fried chicken platters, fried chicken sandwiches, the popcorn. We enjoyed sports on television. The outside had cornholes and bocce ball and a stage for live music and a spot for the kids to run around within a fenced-in area. I have a fantastic conversation with Craig Hartman, the co-owner. He walks me through the process of the Ice House and bringing it to market. Talks about his vision for Gordonsville and the fact that Chef Craig Hartman would like to build a distillery in Gordonsville. The dude owns the Barbecue Exchange, one of the best barbecue joints in the Commonwealth. I even have a conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Henry. And Chris Henry, someone tag Chris Henry. Jody Mills, if you're watching, anyone at Stony Point, if you're watching, please pass this along to Chris Henry. I have so much respect for Chris Henry and his team. This development group does things the right way, the honest way, the fair way. They have relationships with their tenants. Chris Henry, Jody Mills, and the Stony Point team want their tenants to be successful long term. They set them up to be successful long term. In this conversation with Chris, he talks about the revitalization of downtown Gordonsville. His father-in-law, Paul Manning, built his business there. They're committed emotionally and physically and financially to Gordonsville, Virginia, and it's downtown. Discussions of a hotel, a boutique hotel across from the Ice House. The revitalization of downtown Gordonsville from a development standpoint. And I'm telling you, boys and girls, this town is going to freaking boom. Neil Williamson has well-hung vineyards out there. Andre Xavier and John Craig are building Patch Brewing Company there. The real estate around Gordonsville is prime real estate. Think Belmont in the city of Charlottesville 25 years ago. 25 years ago, and I lived in Belmont in 2005, right out of UVA. And in 2005, I lived off Little Graves behind Spudnuts. Now it's Quality Pie. And while me and my 3 buddies, I was paying $300 a month rent. My buddy Mike was paying $300 a month rent. My buddy Tom was paying $300 a month rent. And we had our buddy Shannon climbing a rope ladder to the attic. Sleeping in an attic without HVAC. Climbing a rope ladder to get up to the attic. He was paying $180 a month rent. Money was a little tighter for him. Shannon still managed to get muchachas, that's ladies, for those that don't speak Spanish, up the rope ladder to the attic. What a charming guy, right? We're sitting in Little Graves circa 2005 in Belmont. Down the street of Little Graves, and if you go to Little Graves right now, it's now like all white collar. 400,000, 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 and up homes on Little Graves. When I was there, the home that I was renting, owned by Arthur Feiner was our landlord. We could have bought that crib for like $200K. That crib right now, easily 2x'd, maybe 2.5x'd in price. That home now, $400K, maybe $500K all day, every day. In 2005, if I had the vision, if I had the resources, I would have purchased that crib for $2 bills, lived in it, improved it, rented some of the rooms to my buddies to help with the mortgage, and today I would be sitting on a crib that had a value of $400 or $450 all day, every day. The reason I bring this to you is because the same damn thing is going to happen to Gordonsville. Mark it down. Mark it down. Mark it down. The cribs off the streets in downtown Gordonsville have affordability now. 10 years from now, they will be 2x in value. You're going to be able to walk from your crib on one of these side streets on the downtown area of Gordonsville to the Ice House, to the Barbecue Exchange, a short Uber to Patch Brewing Company, to the new Craig Hartman distillery that's coming on market soon. And I've had multiple conversations with Orange County's Development and Economic Development Office. Andre Xavier, co-owner of Patch Brewing Company, said on this show that Orange County's Economic Development Office is incredibly inviting and willing to do the zoning changes to help businesses come to market. Craig Hartman said the same thing about Orange County's Economic Development Office. They wanted us here, they rolled out the red carpet here, they wanted the Ice House to have success, and they did everything humanly possible to make it happen. These are the practices that must be embodied by Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville as well. I'm going to give you some facts and stats to back up what I'm about to say. Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville, if they do not figure out how to turn red tape into green tape, my friend Keith Smith loves that phrase. If they don't figure out how to make it easier for entrepreneurs and development and developers and small businesses and the C-suite of said small businesses to make decisions and get answers quicker and faster, Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville will lose businesses in its municipality. Here's a good example. Toby of Toby's Pawn Shop was so fed up with the city of Charlottesville that he literally moved his pawn shop from West Main Street in the city next to Continental Divide to right over the city-county line in the base of Pantops, the base of Freebridge, in the old Hardee's fast food joint. Toby said, what's the thing you do if you're a Greek or Italian family? You do the chin flick? What's the chin flick mean, Judah? It's kind of like an FU, right? Yeah. Can you say it in the mic? I love when you say words like that. The chin. I'll do the chin flick while you say it at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Fangul.
Yeah. Toby said fangul. It's like that, right? It means like FU, right? Isn't that what that means?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Toby said Fungul to the city of Charlottesville and moved Toby's to the base of Pantops, literally as close to the city line as humanly possible, because he got tired of dealing with the city BS. Now I'm going to read some Neil Williamson sales data to you. Neil Williamson, you do a hell of a job. I sincerely mean that, Neil. I think you realize that I sincerely mean that. Q1 2021 data. Q1 2021 data showed that throughout Central Virginia, sales tax revenue upticked. However, this will surprise you. You know where the largest uptick in sales tax revenue was in Central Virginia? Greene County, Virginia. Compared to Q1 2020, year over year, Greene County led the way with a 24% increase in sales tax revenue. If you had told me when I was a student at the University of Virginia, if you had told me when I was one of the youngest editors in the history of the Daily Progress that Greene County would be the leading municipality from an increase year over year, 24% increase year over year. That doesn't mean they have the top sales tax revenue. That means they had the largest delta increase year over year. If you had told me that that was going to be Greene County while I was a reporter at the Daily Progress, a broadcaster on ESPN radio, or executive producing and hosting 2 television shows that bared my name on NBC 29, I literally would have laughed at you. Literally. However, Greene County has allowed density and development to happen. And when you green tape and allow density and development to happen, you get more people living in your municipality. And when you get more people living in your municipality, you're going to see incremental revenue in your municipality. And that's literally what's happening to Greene County. That is literally what's going to happen to Gordonsville. That is literally what's going to happen to Orange County. Albemarle and the city of Charlottesville, your leadership teams need to get their shoulders shaken. You need to go sit in timeout. Mima and Poppy are going to tell you to go to the backyard and get a switch, like Mima and Poppy told me, for a spanking, because you aren't doing things the right way. The pressure from Waynesboro, Greene County, Orange County, Fluvanna County, Zion's Crossroads, Louisa County, has never been greater. Waynesboro, Orange, Greene, Fluvanna, Louisa, hell, even Nelson County. They are rolling out the red carpet to developers and to entrepreneurs and saying, come to us. Come to us. We'll incentivize you. We'll help you from an upzoning or a downzoning standpoint. We'll roll out the red carpet. We'll defer taxes. We understand Albemarle and the city is making it difficult for you. Come to us, my friends. Come to us. We will welcome you with open arms. And that is yet another reason I am running for Albemarle County Board of Supervisors. It's paramount our leadership runs municipalities with the mindset of a small business owner that must make payroll. With the mindset of a small business owner that has to go into his or her work every single day and figure out a vision plan to keep his or her business successful. We have elected for too long people that don't have a small business mindset and background. And guys, enough is enough. Albemarle County is about to jettison the 5th grade class from Mountain View to a middle school and ask its 5th graders 10, 11, and 12-year-olds to spend 2 hours more round trip on a bus and in its academic day because it can't manage development and its municipality the right way. Enough. Pisses me off, frankly, if you can't tell. Pisses me off. Neil Williamson says all areas had healthy growth, but Waynesboro, Stanton, Augusta, and Greene all saw over a 17% plus increase in sales tax revenue. 17% plus increase in sales tax revenue for the counties surrounding Albemarle and Charlottesville. That's my commentary backed by factual data. All right, one more thing before we get to the distinguished gentleman, my friend Keith Smith, who looks like he's been kissed by the sun. Keith Smith, sun kissed from his time on the islands. Judah, get 540 Meade Avenue up on the screen for me. He's out in the hallway, J-Dub. So why don't we get that in the hallway? Why don't we get that on screen? Then we'll welcome the distinguished gentleman to the set. That's on screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Dudes, dudettes. You're talking about the barber shop on High Street, right? The barber shop on High Street, Belmont Barbershop. Actually, it's on Meade Avenue. It's right off High Street, 540 Meade Avenue. This spot's got a list price of $415,000, $415K. The price per square is north of $367 a square. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms, no garage, 1,100 square feet. This crib was built in 1929. It is nearly 100 years old. There's a business operating out of the crib, a barbershop. And the asking price is $415,000 smackaroos. 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, 0 garage, 1,129 square feet, a crib that is 92 years old and has a business operating out of the majority of the house. It's got an asking price of $415K. Guess what? It's going to sell damn near close to that $415. And I'm not knocking the hustle. I am not knocking the hustle. If you own a house, now's the time to sell. If you want to buy a house, now's the time to buy because of interest rates. I am not knocking the hustle. Anyone who owns a spot wants to get top dollar for that spot. That's just how it works. I'm not knocking the hustle. My commentary is a reflection on today's market. $415,000 ask for a 92-year-old home that's 1,100 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths, 0 garage, and has a business operating out of it. Ay, mi madre carajo, coño, Keith Smith. That's Spanish, mi amigo. He is sun-kissed over there. Let's get the man let's get the man on set. Okay, studio camera right here.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Good to see you. Missed you. 2 weeks, my friend.
You know who really missed me?
Eliza. Yeah. If you guys heard some disruption when Keith walks in, Keith spoils the I Love CVille mascot, Liza, with treats. And anytime Keith walks in here, Liza is basically, how would you describe her behavior, my friend? I would describe it as like ecstatic. Yeah, ecstatic, Keith, ecstatic. All right, she's not the only one that's ecstatic to see you. Can you tell?
I can tell by that hug.
Good to see you, my friend. You got a haircut.
No, I just...
You didn't get a haircut recently? You look sharp. I think it might be the ocean water that has devolumed the hair a little bit. Is that what it is? Good to see you, buddy.
Same here, my friend. I thank you for reminding me. I need to get a haircut before my daughter's wedding on Saturday.
You got a wedding coming up.
Got a wedding coming up.
How's that going?
I got a bunch of marching orders from my oldest daughter this morning. So we are
Anything you want to share?
Yeah, like go to Costco and get this, and go and get that, and go and get this, and oh, by the way, you're down one car because my youngest daughter took the car, and welcome back, guys.
Yeah, I know. You get back from the island
Welcome
to this.
back. And it took us 2 days to get back, so that was...
Put in perspective what happened.
Yeah, so we normally fly in and out of Fort Lauderdale, and we came in, and normally it's about a 45-minute turnaround in customs and immigration. Anybody who's ever been through that, they kind of understand the process. It took us a little over 3 hours to get through it and missed our connecting flight. So we had to stay in Fort Lauderdale overnight, and heck, we didn't get home until late this evening. So I'm a little hectic at the moment trying to get things done. I figured I'd have a whole day.
You look smooth, dude.
Oh, thank you.
You look cool, calm, and collected.
Okay.
You do, I'm telling you.
Well, then, yeah, all right.
You're like the duck on the water.
Well, yeah, so, we'll see how that goes when we have the invasion of all our daughters and grandchildren and other daughter and future husband, and we'll see how I feel on Friday's show.
All the Smiths are coming.
All the Smiths.
Madre.
Oh, yeah.
And what's Yona's maiden name?
Schudel. So there's only one Schudel left, and
Okay.
she's in Austria.
Okay.
So it's Yona and her.
So it's the Smiths.
The Smiths and the Tysons.
The Tysons, that's right.
And the Watsons. And we've got all kinds of clan coming here.
What's the wedding nitty gritty? Give us the who, what, when, where, why.
Write a check, Dad.
God, thank God I have a son.
Oh, no. You don't get away from it now. That's
really?
No. That's all changed.
Oh, how's it work now?
Oh, it works. Everybody kind of divvies up a little bit.
Oh, it's a 50-50 split?
50-50.
It's a 50-50.
50-50.
50-50.
Actually, it's a third, and a third.
Okay.
The kids are chipping in. We're chipping in. The other side's chipping in. So we negotiated a little bit. We do what we do.
I think you're good at
Never
that.
split the middle, right? That was my great book I read on vacation, which is a great.
What's Never Split the Middle?
So it's a story written, or it's a negotiations about a guy that's a FBI Academy negotiator, an international terrorist FBI.
Yeah, that's Liza's tail. It's like her tail is like a.
Well, you got a little sun, buddy.
I always get sun. Yeah.
Looking good. I can see a little
always get sun.
sunglass tan
Yeah,
going
right
on. Yeah.
Liza's tail reminds me, the metronome?
Oh, yeah.
When she sees Keith Smith, Liza's tail goes from a normal tail to a metronome on crack. It goes like...
Goes to double time.
She's so happy to see you.
Yeah.
Not the only one. But tell us about the book first.
Yeah, so basically they talk about negotiation from a FBI negotiator's perspective, and he's right. You never split the middle in that thing. So if it's a terrorist situation where I'm negotiating for you and Judah, you can't say, okay, well, you could take Judah and I'll keep Jerry. I mean, you don't do that. So it's a really interesting tactic, and we'll talk more about it on a future Real Talk shows. But I studied negotiations when I was gone. Plus, we worked about 4 hours a day, 5 hours.
This guy's got a doctorate in negotiations, and he's still studying negotiations. I want to throw Gordonsville to you, buddy. I saw Chris Henry.
I ran numbers on that while you were talking earlier today.
I saw Chris at the Ice House. We have so much respect for Chris.
Without a doubt. I tagged him on the way over.
Thank you. I was so great. He came up. He was so generous, so kind.
He's a good man.
Yeah, great man. Great man. Ran into Mr. Chef Craig Hartman.
Yep.
Another great man. They're going to revitalize the entire downtown.
So they've been doing that quietly for decades. Mr. Manning and his team.
Hotel coming?
Yeah. It's that's a really unique town, and we've been talking about this on Real Talk for forever. That where's the next big thing? And I've always felt Zion's Crossroads, and I consider Gordonsville kind of part of that corridor. Gordonsville, Zion's Crossroads. But you're going to start seeing it, and the numbers are proving it. I just did a quick run here.
Well, Gordonsville and Zion's Crossroads are opposite ends.
Yeah, I guess for me, once I start going...
Yeah, those are opposite ends.
To me, it's an extra 10-minute drive, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, I think it's good. So recently sold, year to date, I just did some quick numbers out in the town of Gordonsville.
Yes.
18 units sold.
Okay. All single-family detached?
All single-family, that's all they have out there at the moment. This is only in the town of Gordonsville.
Okay.
$290 was the median sales price. Same period last year, 2020. So from 1/1/20 to 6/7/20, 12 units sold, Would you want to take a gamble at what the median sales price was?
Tell me. I say under 290.
Yeah, 242.
So you're saying year over year, we're talking a 50K increase?
50K increase.
And you attribute that to
well, I think
the amenities and the options?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's, look, this line of work that we're in is never one thing, right?
Uh-huh.
It's never just one thing affects one thing. It's multiple things affect what we're trying to go. So it's Chris Henry and his team and what they're doing and revitalization to it. COVID-19, people are moving out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, when we were down, what we were doing, I must have spoken to easily 24 20-something, 30-something couples. Everybody's just getting out, and we're having the same conversation. Literally. And it's funny, I was thinking about it on the way over here. If I was hanging out, meet you on the beach or meet you on the boat, and hey, Jerry, what do you do?
Yeah.
Right? You say, hey, I'm in advertising. I own a studio
Yeah.
and all this stuff. I wouldn't ask you a question about, so what about studio business? Or what about that? As soon as the word comes out of your mouth, hey, I'm in real estate, tell me about the market. Tell me what's going on. And they corner you. And it was cool. We love it.
Business cards.
Oh man, always hand out more business cards when I travel than I do here.
Never.
Always be closing.
or never leave home without it, like you said in the email.
That's right. Never leave.
I read your emails.
I know you do. So it's interesting. So it's it looks like a 50K price year over year increase. And again, this is 5 minutes. I heard you talking about it before I walked over and tapped into it real quick.
So like you, it's our biggest strength and can also be our biggest weakness. We see opportunity everywhere, right? I know you do too.
I was offered a beach bar opportunity down there.
Yona said, no effing way. Isn't that what she said?
No, she said, I can't look at you with a Speedo any longer. So. I think it was the Speedo. I really think so.
Oh, God. You were wearing the Speedo?
Maybe.
You were not. Were you wearing the Speedo?
Maybe.
At the beach bar?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe I wasn't.
My wife and son and I were a little early to meet this other family at the ice house. Okay? So we start driving the side streets. And of course,
It's a beautiful town, isn't it?
Oh, it's so beautiful. So intimate. It's charming,
Yeah.
hospitable. Then I'm seeing these side streets. I'm seeing, like, a lack of better phrase, some homes that need a little more TLC. We'll leave it at that. You get what I'm saying? And my mind is going up like 1,000 miles an hour. I feel like I was like seeing Belmont 20 years ago when I moved into Belmont. Like 20 years ago, if I could have bought the house that I was in, the guy's like, I'll sell it to you for $200K.
Oh, yeah.
Literally. Now it needed some work. At the time, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I was fresh out of college.
We're going to talk after the show.
That home is $450 now.
We're going to talk about something after the show, about some opportunities. Because
Okay.
our chemistry was working.
Yeah?
We just weren't seeing each other.
Well, now I have the resources, and I'm going after Gordonsville. Dude, do we not think that that's going to blow up?
It will. Look, it's Gordonsville has always been kind of on the radar, off the edge here. And I think COVID, no, off the edge, that's the wrong choice of words, kind of on the outskirts of it. It always was just a little bit too far.
Yeah, it's about, say, half an hour to the city of Charlottesville.
Yeah, but
20 minutes from Glenmore.
correct. But you also, so much more is being brought there, right? Thanks to Chris Henry and his team and Neil Williams and all these.
Neil Williamson.
Yeah, the barbecue exchange, which really kind of kicked it off.
Yeah.
A couple of, I don't know how many years they've been there.
10, 15 years ago.
At least, yeah. That's when we drive up north, our requirement is to stop at the barbecue place and bring barbecue back up to Connecticut.
To Harry and to your daughter.
And it never makes it, by the way.
Because you eat it in the car?
Never makes it.
Just like the Bodo's bagels?
Totally never makes it on that end of it. But the reality of it is it's growing, it's changing on that kind of great stuff, and COVID's kind of helped that out a little bit. But I'll tell you, walking over here, two things that we have in common: we see opportunities, and we're super optimistic people.
Yeah, we're very bullish.
And do you know what I heard in that conversation I was walking over here?
Tell me.
7 people? How many families was it?
And where?
When you went to Gordonsville?
Oh, it was myself and another family. It's
So-
our family and another family.
so
it was
it was-
a total of, I guess 7 people.
7 people.
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
Eating, spending our money.
Out.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah.
This time last year, that was not the case.
Yeah.
This time last year, everybody was all freaked out about it.
We've been doing that, as have you, almost from the beginning. And we did it safely.
Yeah.
We did it social distance.
Well, you yelled at me all the time.
With our mascot. Well, the only thing I was giving you grief on was the traveling. I wasn't giving you any grief about anything else.
Yeah, but
But you, as you always say, it's like when you're behind the Iron Curtain for so long, like you were, or your wife grew up in Austria, managing a pandemic.
She actually grew up in Beirut.
In Beirut, yeah. Managing a pandemic, you guys can do.
Yeah, it's like living in New York and back in the 60s and the 70s. You just need to be super careful.
Right.
Make sure you know what you're doing.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Keep your head on a swivel, situational awareness, But I'll tell you, coming back, it was effing nuts. The airports were effing nuts. I mean, and then it was crazy. So in a way, it's a good thing. So what I heard was the great news that people are getting out. And it's funny. I think this labor shortage is going to bite us on the rear end.
Oh, no doubt, dude.
And that's why it took us 3 hours to get through.
Chef Hartman's understaffed. We were at Johnny's watching. Johnny Ornalis.
Hey,
I love El Mariachi. Johnny, I love El Mariachi.
So on our way home last night, this is a testament to Johnny and his team. On the way home last night, it was like somewhere around 6 or 7 o'clock. We were driving. We said, hey, let's sit and get a taco. They were slammed.
Yeah.
We were up for like a gazillion hours. I said, I'm going home. We didn't stop, but it was great to see them rocking and rolling.
We were there a couple weekends ago. I was talking to his brother, Steve, and he's like, dude, we are gangbusters here. The only thing we're missing is staff.
Exactly right. And so when we got stuck in Fort Lauderdale, I said, okay, well, whatever. It was funny. Yona and I were talking about it this morning. We are super fortunate and super blessed. This was not JetBlue's problem. This was the federal government's problem. They were understaffed. They didn't have enough people to process 2 It was 12 planes that came in simultaneously from Central and the Central America and the Caribbean, and they had five. That's this many. They had five. Sorry, they had five immigration officers processing thousands. There was no way we were ever going to make it.
And did you know it immediately?
As soon as we walked in and saw the lines, when they said we're keeping you on the tarmac for an hour to wait for the lines to let, I said we're staying in Fort Lauderdale. But we were super blessed. Because we said, okay, fine, just break out the credit card and get a hotel room. Yeah. On that stuff.
So what happens to the plane ticket that you missed? You don't lose that money, right?
No. Well, I went and negotiated.
Did you?
I sure as hell did, because they didn't want to do anything for us because JetBlue didn't mess up. But I ended up negotiating. We ended up having to catch 3 American Airlines flights yesterday.
From Fort Lauderdale?
From Fort Lauderdale to get here.
So where? Did you hit Charlotte?
Oh, God, we hit Charlotte. I can't remember. I think we went up. It was such a, I don't even want to remember.
It was a cluster.
Cluster.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at cluster.
It was a cluster.
Fangul!
You're missing Fangul.
Fangul.
And it's Italian. And it's Italian, by the way.
Okay.
It's Italian.
It's Italian.
It's not Greek.
It's not Greek. Okay. It's Italian, Jude. It's Italian.
So my Italian half knows this word very, very well. So, I think this is going to bite us on the butt. The labor thing, I really do. So anyway, I lost my train of thought. So I went ahead and tried to call an Uber. Right? How long do you normally wait for an Uber in a major town?
2 minutes tops.
35 minutes.
Because they're usually surrounding the airport. 35 minutes.
35 minutes.
Jeebus.
Not enough. So I talked to the Uber guy. I said, "What's up?" He says, "Not enough drivers." So I think that scares me a little bit about how that's going to work. And I spoke to Jody Mills this morning. Jody and her team are coming on Real Talk on the 18th.
Excellent.
And we're going to have a whole team here.
Who else? To be determined?
TBD.
Okay.
As
long as Jody's there.
Jody's there, and a couple. But they're going to start talking about all the new releases that they have.
Chris
coming.
Henry? Dude's a busy dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, Chris, we're giving you some props here. Come on, Chris.
But she plays it close to the vest, so we'll find out there. But we're going to talk about all the great stuff that they got going on over there. But in the conversation this morning there's some restaurants that are slow in their openings. They don't have people.
How about this from Andre? Gordonsville is one amazing destination, and just wait 2 years from now, it will be a major destination. It is a very exciting time for Gordonsville and Orange County. We at Patch Brewing Company are beyond excited to be a part of this amazing community. I love Champion Ice House. Chef Hartman is the best. Did you see his tease picture today? I did not see his tease picture, Andre. Can you put that in the comment section, Andre, his picture? How about the comparison to Gordonsville today to Belmont 25 years ago?
So I think it's more of a Waynesboro comparison.
Tell me.
And the reason I think it is that 15 corridor is a northwest corridor. So when we go home, that's how we go home.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, when you guys go up to Long Island, that's how you go. So it has the corridor going on back and forth. You're 100% right. Orange gets it, the green tape into red tape.
You taught me that.
Backwards. I said it backwards.
The red tape into green tape. You taught me that.
I was thinking Charlottesville. It's going to pop. The numbers are proving it. So we'll talk after the meeting.
Do we think, Carol Thorpe, we're going to get this comment in a matter of moments about the parking garage. Katie Pearl, Keller Williams, I love when Jerry
Katie.
turns on the Cuban. Thank you, Katie. I love when I turn on the Cuban.
Well, you know she's Cuban.
I know she is. Yeah. She told me in the comment section that she's Cuban, Yeah,
we're going to negotiate with that's Yona, one of Yona's dream trips is to Cuba. So we're
Go to Cuba?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, maybe we tag team on that trip. Carol Thorpe. Jerry and Keith, with regards to building the new parking garage for the courthouse deal, the only promise is that Democrats have each other's backs. Constituents and taxpayers be damned, they will get screwed every time and deals are made to be broken when one political party has unfeathered control. Have no doubt that if City Council is given a pass on this by the Albemarle Board of Supervisors, City Council will be on the happy hook for a big bag of reciprocal favor down the road. When it, again, saves the Democrats' bacon, we the citizens will lose every time.
It's always been a love-hate relationship between the city of
and the
Charlottesville and the county, as long as I've been here since 1987. But I'm trying to remember the agreement, and I'm trying to remember who. I think it was Neil that was on the show, or one of our guests that was on the show. Inside, might have been Ned, now I think about it. Buried inside of that agreement, it was Lloyd Snook. Buried inside of this agreement, as long as they provide them the space.
Yeah, then they meet the deal.
They meet the deal, so they're not going to necessarily renege it. They're going to have to provide some space at the existing parking
They're
garage.
going to have to, here's the thing, they're going to have to, and it's in Allison Rabel's story today, they're going to have to provide the parking spaces. They're going to have to potentially the land they bought from the county, they're going to have to potentially give that land back, and they're going to owe some back rent on that land.
Got it.
But that's well below the $10 million spent. Here's the question I have for you. This is the hardest question you're going to have today. Actually, the hardest questions are probably coming from your daughters right now.
No, I've already had them.
Okay, you already have
You're
them.
easy.
Okay. Would you, if you were the decision maker, would you move forward with the garage or not?
Wow. To be totally honest with you, I know enough about it to speak about it somewhat intelligently. I do not know enough about it to make that call.
Would you take the wait and see approach?
I'd have to read that agreement line by line, letter by letter, and determine it. I think wait and see makes sense, but I'm speaking way off the cuff, not educated about it in a great sense. But, this I do know, right? What we negotiate for a living, that's what we do. That's what you do.
Yeah, that's what we both do.
Let's put everybody in a room.
Yeah.
Right?
And figure it out.
Call for you'll find out when you get elected, that's not an easy thing to do, right? Because you have sunshine laws and all this stuff. It has to be public meetings, as you well know. Any more than 2 elected officials meeting requires a public. But I think personally, the way I would do it is say, okay, the world has changed a little bit. One of the things you'll find out is one previous board can't bind a future board.
Right?
Right?
That's crazy.
Well, that's just baked into the state code, so that's just the way life is.
That just basically means nothing can get done with that.
It has to be done within
their term.
Correct.
Yeah.
And nothing gets done within their term.
No.
Now, that being said, there's also a contractual agreement, right? So another board can't unwind an existing contractual agreement. So, look, this is business, right?
Right.
Business terms have changed.
Yeah.
The environment is different. Hey, if Keith and Jerry have an agreement, right, and 4 years down the road it's changing, what do? We sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
We have some of that rum I hope you brought me from the islands.
Not tomorrow, not today.
And we have a beverage or 2.
Or 3.
Okay, is that, did I get a bottle of rum?
Maybe.
Thank
Boy,
you.
Yeah, of course I got you. I wasn't going to bring you back something.
You're such a kind person. Katie Pearl wants to know, how is the internet in Gordonsville?
Wow, that's a great
question.
Right? I can't answer that. Somebody like Chris Henry, or if Neil's watching.
Neil Williamson, are you watching?
Neil
Andre Xavier is watching.
Yeah, he would know.
Andre, how is the internet in Gordonsville? Because that is undoubtedly going to impact Gordonsville. How is the internet in Gordonsville, Andre Xavier?
So what I referred to in my brain, that Gordonsville and Zion's Crossroads are kind of the same. It's similar to what has happened over the last several decades, that Richmond and Charlottesville are starting to grow together.
Connecting.
So that's what's going to happen. You're going to see, I think, Gordonsville and Zion's Crossroads starting connecting, and I know Louisa and Fulvana County obviously have their Firefly and the high speed. So eventually, if high speed broadband isn't there, and it very well might be, it'll start working its way out that way.
Brian Kraling. Sounds like, Jerry, you should let Keith keep that bottle of rum he's going to gift you if his entire family is here and they're planning a wedding at the end of the week. Godspeed, my friend. Well, and I don't even know you.
Thank you. If you don't think I brought a couple extra for me, you're nuts.
Godspeed, my friend. And I don't even know you. Hello, Susan.
Right. If you don't think I'm going to tap a little IV of homemade rum. This stuff is good. This is homemade. You know, I sweat it every time I bring in through customs, like, oh shit.
Kimberly says, Jerry, please ask Keith what else he likes about Gordonsville.
It's the vibe, right?
It's friendly.
Well, and you have to look at what has happened in the history. And Susan off to my right, because she's here, because I
Susan Steinmark.
I got to sign checks for the
Susan
since I've been gone for. But the walkability is important. You can, particularly, it's kind of what everybody wants, right? So if you're moving out there and assuming they have high-speed internet and people are moving out there to work remotely, which I think you're really going to see a hybrid. I think everybody that I talk to down, these young 20-something, 30-somethings, almost split down the middle. And it was all different ranges, everything from engineers to doctors, so forth and so on. Half of them like, hey, we're going back full time. The other half was a hybrid. So you're going to see, I think, somewhere around the middle in it. But you're 100% right. You buy a house in there. You take your bike, your e-bike, over to
the Ice House, to Barbecue Exchange, to Patch, to Well Hung.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, they're booming. Andre says, this is what I love about this, what we're doing here. Andre says Comcast, they have fiber coming in now.
Good.
Comcast also has fiber coming in. So, Andre, it sounds like 2 options in Gordonsville.
That's better than most, by the way.
What's that?
That's better than most.
Right?
We just had a conversation. We're working on some listings and sales in Earlysville, and that's always been tricky in Earlysville about internet.
You and your beautiful 7/8, Yona Smith, would love the Ice House.
Well,
you would love it
if I didn't have a
wedding.
gazillion people coming.
This could be like next month.
I like, Yona, why did we just not stay? But anyway, so maybe we made a little bit of a mistake going away.
Well, you just made the trip a little tight with the wedding.
We made the trip a little tight, but we work very well under pressure.
You do, and you always figure it out. You love organized chaos.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yeah, well, that's the Marine in me,
Yeah, that's when you're at your best. Me too.
Have a plan as soon as the first round goes down, screwed up, and just adapt and overcome. And that's
why he's successful. My friend, the plan for Real Talk tomorrow, as we wind down.
We're going to do more of this, just me and you.
Batman and Robin.
And Alfred tomorrow.
And who was Liza?
Liza.
No, what was her?
Bat Dog.
Was she Bat Dog? We had a name for Liza.
But there was a bat dog, at least in one of the
There was
series.
a bat dog? Okay,
I think in the cartoon series, I don't know, there was a bat everything.
All right, Batman, Robin, Alfred, and Bat Dog. Judy's got something to say? No? Yes? No? Okay, Bat Dog.
I love his haircut, by the way.
Doesn't he look sharp?
He looks real sharp.
Looks super young. You know why they call him, they call him the young cowers? Because they don't age. Doesn't the man look like he's in his mid-20s?
Yes.
He does. The man is 45. Would you have ever guessed that? Is it 45? Yeah, it's 46 around the corner. Would you have ever guessed that? No, right?
But I suck at age. I think you're the same age as me, so.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Yeah.
I'm,
Well, no, I brought you up,
no,
not me
okay,
down.
you son of a bitch.
I brought you up, not me down, brother.
All right, so Real Talk this.
Yeah. So we got it's just me and you tomorrow. We're gonna have more fun and just talk. I want to get a little bit into the politics and the stuff. We'll do that a little bit tomorrow with on Tuesday because it's the primary.
Dude, multiple people are asking, including the Orange County Development Office, Economic Development Office, who's watching now. Andre, thank you for tagging her in the feed.
Thank you.
To continue the discussion on Gordonsville. It's intriguing people.
So we'll pick that up tomorrow
at Real Talk, 10:15.
Perfect.
He
Love
says
it.
Gordonsville's more likely to Stanton versus Waynesboro, but the key difference is
Okay.
the cluster
Yeah. Sure.
He says the key difference is the cluster of courageous entrepreneurs focusing in there now, plus its geographical location.
Sure.
Richmond, Northern Virginia, east part of town, 29 North, all easy to get to.
All spot
Can't
on.
argue with that.
Yeah, Waynesboro was a little off. I think he's 100% right on Stanton. 100% right.
Well, my friend, I missed you.
I missed you too, and Friday is going to be a lot of fun. We've got the powerhouse in,
Neil and Sean.
and we're going to talk about the results.
Yeah.
And a little bit the UVA housing.
Do you have a crystal ball prediction? I said Pinkston and Wade out of the primary. What do you think?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think I listened to it on the way over. Your predictions are spot on. It's going to be interesting.
You think Nakaya gets elected again?
I think so.
I think so too.
It's interesting. The math is going to be very difficult, right?
Walk it through me. Walk it through
Well,
all of us.
we've had that conversation before, right? So it's always good to have competition, but when you start having a little bit too much, it skews the math.
Well, you know, her camp is already...
Who's her? The mayor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor Nakaya Walker's camp is already saying from the top of Carter's Mountain, single shot voting strategy. You know the single shot strategy? Where you
do.
vote one person and one person only?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying right now.
Yeah, but
That's what their camp is saying.
But we need to look at the math, right? So I'll be prepared for this tomorrow. Talk a little bit more. This is just off the cuff at the moment. If you take a look at the last election, it was, I believe, and Neil will correct.
I remember it well.
It was only like 24% of the electorate, 25%
Yeah.
actually got you a seat.
Right.
And that was because of the math.
Well, and if you think of, and you
So
also
it's
look
much
at the math,
harder.
Go ahead.
It's much harder if there's only 3 running, right, to get the math to work.
Well, in the general, there'll be 4. Because Yaz Washington's also...
Maybe
in the
Yaz
mix.
might not run.
Oh, Yaz is pulling out of the
No,
general?
no. I don't know that. I'm just
Okay.
talking about math.
Okay.
I'm just talking about math,
Okay.
right? I'm just looking at this. So if it's 4, basically you got to hit 25% or whatever the number is. And what will happen is if you do the math, only 2 folks have to hit that low percentage voters, right?
Yeah.
So you drop one out, that 25 jumps up to 33. So it makes it harder to get there. And what will happen is some of the votes will start peeling off, and you'll learn it. I'll coach you in it, but don't you start.
You've been doing this for 2+ years. I listen to everything you say.
But the math becomes...
It's terrifying, isn't it?
I know it is.
You know I do, though.
That's, again, terrifying. So the math is going to be weird. You know, if it was only 3, it makes the get... Right? You're a gambler,
Yeah.
right? It makes the get a little harder.
Yeah. Time will tell. 10:15 a.m. tomorrow, Real Talk.
We have a meeting, actually.
We do. We both do. It's on my calendar. I just got the notification.
So did I.
Yeah, okay. This is the show. It's the I Love CVille Show. Thank you to Scott Wagner, Integrated Medicine, and Ting Fiber, Crazy Fast Internet, for being a part of this show. This guy is Keith Smith. Real Talk tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. All of Orange County that's watching right now, 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. We will
Please.
continue the discussion. 26-year-old Alfred Youngcower, thank you for keeping us on track over there. Bat Dog, you're amazing. Guys, we will see you mañana. That's tomorrow for those that don't
What's
speak
up with the Spanish?
I just feeling my Cubano roots
Okay.
today. I'm feeling the Cubano roots. I had a great weekend.
So we'll expand it with the rum tomorrow. We'll have some rum on set.
Oh, you hear that, Jay? Look at Jay Dubs.
Jay got all excited about that.
Jay, I'm sorry. That's the show, guys. You guys have a good afternoon. Take care. Keith, I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too, brother. All right, Susan. Sorry it took longer.